Oh my God, back-to-back days? They let us in the studio twice in 1 week, and we're not done. We got another show tomorrow, but we ain't going to tell you about that. You're going to have to wait till the end of this episode. And if you're watching this after the fact, maybe I'll say it in the middle. Don't just fast forward. You don't know when I'm going to say it. Maybe it'll be like 19 minutes and 35 seconds in. You don't fucking know. But, man, we got some dogs in the building, so you're going to have to listen to every single second. Hickey and Hootie in the building. How we feeling? Michael, Darrell-Hicks, how you feeling, baby?
I'm feeling good, man.
We're happy to have you back, man. And then we got Hollywood himself, the man in the hat, looking like he's about to, I don't know, but film a movie on Hollywood and Boulevard. Who knows? We got the man himself, Houston Harding. Houston, how we feeling, baby?
Man, if I was any better, it'd be illegal.
Oh, man, then get the fuck out of here. And then Jim Cross, how are you?
2 days in a row, man. I don't know why I'm being punished.
Didn't answer my fucking phone call either, you fucking slick son of a gun. But it is what it is, you know.
I was actually eating my food and not dropping it on the floor, you know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you something. This episode is sponsored by DoorDash. Make sure if you drop your chicken and potatoes before the show, you can always call DoorDash. It's not sponsored by DoorDash, but if they ever wanted to, you can let us know. But fellas, man, how are you guys doing? What was today like? How's the energy? I know Houston, I already know. Perfect, amazing, whatever. You know, you already kind of made that clear. Mike, we'll start with you, man. How you feeling, man? How's the off season?
Hey, I'm good. I'm ready for this off season to come to an end, though. Getting kind of boring. Looking forward to the season and getting that itch. Had a mini camp not too long ago. Saw all the guys, so. I'm ready to wrap the off season up and get back after it with the boys.
Yeah, Jim, Aiden May said that yesterday. He said, "Hey man, I'm getting that itch. I'm feeling it again."
And I feel like it's the pitchers more, right? Because at least with the hitters, man, they're doing all these different simulated sessions, doing all these crazy different things. The pitchers are ready to face somebody.
100%. 100%. How about Hollywood? How you feeling over there, man? We got Matthew McConaughey right here.
Man, I could say the same thing. Get back at it. I actually had a left elbow arthroscopy done at the beginning of December, so I'm kind of right in the middle of my rehab process. But I should be, gearing up, ready to go right at the end of camp too. So I mean, I'm just as excited to get the season going, and like Jim said, to see batters.
Yeah, for sure.
Man, last time I seen him, Mike, I mean, my dude was putting in work. I was in Rocket City anyway. I forgot who came before him, but they got lit up. So I think he came in a little earlier than they planned on, and they just let him roll inning after inning.
Man, you have to. But Houston, for you, man, is that more of a cleaning? I don't want to get if you don't want to talk about it, it's fine. But
it's super chill, yeah. Pretty much, I had 3 loose bodies floating around in my elbow fluid. Very non-invasive surgery. They just went in pretty much with what was described to me as like a water hose and just cleaned it out and sewed me right back up shut. So we're all good to go now.
Love that. It's the best way to do it. You got those little cleanings. I think a lot of people freak out when they hear one of your favorite players has a surgery in the off season, but a lot of them, for the most part, especially we talk about Hooper, in the W or in the NBA, man, we got dudes doing cleanings every 6 fucking months. And then if you're in Chicago and you got Lonzo Ball, it's about every other week that motherfucker's got something going on the table. But man, look, we got a lot of stuff going on. I was at Wrigley Field today, kind of chopping it up with some people about the cover of MLB The Show's 25. Not 1, not 2, but 3 of them things on there. We got 2 shortstops and the rookie of the year, Paul Skeens, Gunnar Henderson, and obviously Ellie De La Cruz, who has a career 130 batting average against the Chicago Cubs. I don't know how
did you happen to see what I just sent you?
I did. It looks fleet. You want to pull it up? You want to show the boys? Listen, I'm all with Kendrick, but that's the best Drake meme I've ever seen. Let's see if he can turn on his phone, and there he goes.
But with Bobby Witt,
Bobby,
because that's who Mike said should have been on there by himself.
It should have been the Bobby show, brother. So I want to ask you guys really quick. I'll keep my bias out of it. Do you think all three were deserving? And if not, who do you think should have been in replace of one of them?
Man, I'm not in no position to say who should be on what.
Look at him lying. He'll tell me after the show.
Look, their teammate should have been on there, and three-time guest Ben Joyce should have been on the Jugger. Forget it, man.
Yeah,
106.
Serving guys. I mean, those guys are young, exciting players, and probably the face of baseball for the upcoming year. So I don't have an issue with any of those guys being on there. But
yeah, for sure.
Here's what I think's going on, boys. I can say it on this show. I feel like I can be open at this point. Man, Paul Skeens used to hit us up on the daily. He's been on this show multiple times. This man gets Rookie of the Year, got his card selling for $5,000. Me and Mike can't get him to answer the damn phone. We bitter.
Well, look, I'm not busy, but did you know what came in the mail today, Jim? And after what happened to you, and we can talk about that again if you want to.
I didn't actually show it on the show yesterday. We just talked about it, boys.
Yeah,
I got this card, right? I got to tell you about this. Chase Dolander is look. I've been collecting, and I've been getting the Topps first Bowman. He and Charlie Condon were the only two guys that didn't have one. So I went and got these wild card ones. Well, Condon verified his was legit, but Chase's came in and I sent it to him. He goes, I ain't gonna lie to you, that ain't my signature. So I tell the seller, hey, this ain't authentic. He tells me it's been authenticated. He sells them this and there. I look, he's got multiple. Anyway, he goes, who's telling you that? I was like, Chase Dolander. Well, he still stood on his ground and said it's been authenticated, and Chase must have not remembered doing his signature like that. This man is trying to tell me that Chase did that. And Chase like, I ain't even number 7, like, or my initial CS. So it's like, and so he's going to stand on his ground, and Chase is like, that's all right. I'm fixing to make some phone calls.
Now, at one point, that's Jim's fault for not knowing this man didn't wear number 7, though. I will say that, but also.
No, there was numerous ones. So I thought maybe he changed it because if you've seen his original signature, it looks like a third grader did it. So I thought maybe he just went with a couple initials to make it look clean.
Nah, for sure. But y'all know before we got to talk about these boys. We ain't gonna be talking about our bullshit. We're 7 minutes in. But so about 2 weeks ago, I get this flag card, GBO all the way, go Big Orange. So then I'm remembering what Jim told me, and I see this Blade Tidwell signed card come in, and originally I'd be really excited about it, but then I looked at it and I was like, this shit even real? Some random ass motherfucker just signed this shit and make me pay $5 for it, like. That shit pissed me the fuck off. But man, we got a lot to talk about.
Since we went into this topic, I gotta find it because I gotta show Houston something, man. I got for my kid. He would appreciate it.
I tried, fellas. You saw me try to change it, but now he's neck deep in the woods on the baseball cards, bro.
Oh no, I guess we can move on. I don't know what I did with it, but he knows. Oh, there it is. He knows that Cameron James is my son's favorite player. He don't have a card, but I found his 1 of 5 perfect game one to get him.
Yeah.
But we're gonna move to the next topic, and this one, I promise you, is the last bullshit topic we got of the day. I promise.
I don't think it's bullshit. They're Angels players, so
look. It might be bullshit immediately if they both just say who I think they're gonna say. But look, Jim and I have been having this conversation for Jim. What would you say? A year and a half now, just kind of going back and forth ever since the World.
It's never going to end because I'll never agree with you.
I don't think it'll ever end because I think he's still gonna have an amazing comeback year, and eventually. Maybe I'm not gonna say that with 2 Angels on here, but maybe he'll win a World Series one day, either in Anaheim or not. But who do you guys got all time? When we talk about the GOATs, Mike Trout or Shohei Ohtani. If you were a GM today, who are you taking?
I mean, right now in their career, or
their whole career, entirety, body of work right now.
Whole body of work at this point in time.
And so you're asking me if I'm going to take an older Mike Trout versus prime Shohei?
No, we're just saying if you knew you were going to get the career that you got out of them, current to date. So
right. So if they were, let's say they were both 17 years old right now, and you knew what you already knew about who they were going to become.
Because the foundation of this is Mike thinks that Shohei's already had a better career than Trout.
I don't know if he's
career-wise, I'd go Trout.
Okay.
Because Shohei's not done. So I mean, Shohei's done unbelievable things, and I think he's probably the most talented baseball player of all time.
So is Trout done? Is Trout cooked? Is that what I'm hearing? No, I'm playing.
Man, I can't wait for this dude to get comeback player of the year. He's going to get the Angels to the playoffs with these two boys on the roster. You stay tuned.
Now, look, three MVPs apiece. One struck out the other in the World Baseball Classic. One just won a World Series. Now, that is to no fault of Mike Trout. He has done everything he possibly could to get to that point. Houston, what do you think, brother? Who are you taking?
He created the 60-60 club with a busted elbow, which I think in and of itself is truly something that, that you just won't ever see again. Mm-hmm. I'm taking Shohei. I love Mike Trout. I watched him as a child growing up. That was my GOAT for the longest time, and then Shohei happened.
So here's my last foundational argument for all three of them. I'm just a regular guy from Memphis, Tennessee, and I've had Ben Joyce and Paul Skeens on the show who both struck out Shohei's ass and made him look bad. And I'm just saying he's not special to me because I can get guys on that can strike him out regularly. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I mean, that is fair, but nobody else.
Is it fair? Like who did?
I think both these guys are going to strike him out next year. Just
that
sign it up.
And if they do, I'm gonna be the first person pumping my chest saying, "Yeah!" Like 700.
It actually sounds bad because I made it sound like they're all just not very good because they come on our show.
Oh, brother, but man,
that was my humble card.
Man, look, but man, we appreciate y'all tuning in, man. We appreciate y'all being here again in Off the Bench podcast. Make sure you hit that follow button if you haven't already. Brought to you by Give Us a Shot Network. You can hit that one too if you feel like it. But with that being said, let's get into your guys' 2024 years. Jim, you wanna take it away with one of these guys? Which one you want to talk
to? I'm gonna start with Michael because when I walked in to go see Houston play, up there on their board of stat leaders in the MILB, you seen saves leader. I forgot I think he was number 3 on the list. Anyway, and I just thought it was cool, man. Like we talked about it. When we had him on at JU, we didn't know what the future was. And so to see you playing the way you did this past season, to move up the ranks, man, talk about it from each level because you had success at each level, man. Was it one of those things? Did it truly get harder at each level, or do you feel like you were just kind of in the zone no matter where you were at?
I mean, definitely going through all the levels, there's definitely a little bit of a learning curve. I mean, doesn't mean that necessarily like I wasn't good enough to be there or I had to learn a new pitch or I had to do all this stuff. It's kind of just learning, the game gets a little faster. I mean, it's baseball, but it can speed up on you a lot quicker, and hitters are a lot more disciplined and they hit mistakes a lot better. So just being that and just like pitch design and pitch sequence and all that stuff becomes a lot more important in how you're going to pitch guys, I would say.
Yeah, I feel like the Double-A though, and I saw this with Houston, man, the guys that are on the heater coming up, because a lot of them will skip Triple-A or maybe just go there for a game or two. So I feel like the lineups of guys y'all are facing in Double-A is where you get a lot of those hitters that are coming up that are on fire. I mean, is that correct to you think?
Absolutely. I think that, it's tough because I'd say there's a jump between Double-A and Triple-A as far as just guys that understand the strike zone and have better play discipline. But you're 100% right in that you're going to see a majority of like your top prospects that are performing really well, thrown into Double-A to see how they react to that level of pitching. But for the most part, you're right. Absolutely.
Look, I'm gonna tell you, Mike, Houston didn't want to end up on my highlight reel because when he was facing Brock Wilken in front of me, he walked him. He didn't want that. He didn't want the 500-foot bomb highlight reel.
Hey man, it happens. It happens.
I've seen Houston's only mistake in a College World Series game. I still laugh about this, Mike, because you weren't there. This story is epic. So, he used to have this thing where he rocked back and forth. It was fresh. It almost like a hardball, right, where he's listening to the music and he's dancing. Anyway, we were right behind home plate for this game, and he's rocking, and then he stops and he holds for a long pause. Anyway, he didn't like what Logan Tanner had called, and Logan claims that Houston was going to throw the wrong pitch. Anyway, long story short, this thing got hit over the wall. It was the only run that Vandy had scored, but clearly his rhythm, whatever their communication was, it went south.
For sure. No, but I do
still
kind of want
standing
to
firm
tap
it's his
into.
fault.
You said what?
They both blame each other. I'm curious if it's still Logan's fault.
I don't think it was anybody's fault. I think we just agreement in the moment, and I wanted to go. I wanted to go inside, and he wanted to go outside.
So you just decided 450 dead center was just the way it was going to go.
It's actually a wall scraper.
Okay. Sorry.
But I'll be honest. Look, I mentioned it earlier. The coolest part about that game is him and Preston Johnson, who obviously been on the show, went the full 9. 2 JUCO transfers in on the biggest stage, owning Vanderbilt. It was so cool, man. That's why I love stories like that.
No, for sure. And so here's where I got with you guys, man. And we can start with Mike and then move on to Houston. But, that jump from AA to AAA, we have those conversations all the time from a hitter's approach. Some guys are just swinging at the fences. They don't give a fuck if they strike out 40% of the time. They're just trying to get the AA, AAA to the show. For you guys, man, I've heard several people, Aiden being one of them, saying that jump goes from I'm in college ball where there's not really a lot of analytics and there's not really a lot of guys telling you about your preparation going into the day. It's kind of just throw strikes. And if you can't throw strikes, then throw it harder. I don't know what to tell you. So to be able to get to AAA for both of you guys, what was the adjustment that you've seen, not only from the coaches that you have, but the expectations from coaches?
Yeah, it gets more professional each level, I feel like. And it's not like, I'm not saying AA isn't as professional. It's just kind of more some unsaid things that are expected of you. Like, you're expected to get your work in. No one's going to pat you on the ass for doing things you should be doing and stuff like that. But it's more real. They're going to be more straight up with you because, at that point, you're in AAA. Like, next step is the show. So, like, you're trying to do what you can do to show them that you can play in the show. So, whether if it's like for me at the end of the year, I was working on like backdoor like sliders because I was only throwing them glove side, like backdoor to a lefty. That's a big pitch for me, and that's something that I ended up getting down pretty well, and it worked out for me, and I had a lot of success with it. But it's really just to prepare you for the MLB. It's simple as that.
Yeah, you heard what he said there, Jim?
The MLB.
MLB. We had this conversation yesterday, fellas. Some 7-year-old in the chat said I was the dumbest motherfucker he's ever met because I said the MLB. And now every time we come on the show, I'm going to ask every single one of the guests, is it I play in MLB or I play in the MLB? Now, I hear what
and Mike, before we go to Houston on that question, I'm going to say something, man. Sure. Mike ain't getting enough run support, man. 13-12 on the overall record with just over a 3 ERA, man. Where's the run support?
A lot of those L's came when I was starting. I guess not last season, the year before, and then this year I got put in a lot of tight situations, and thankfully I won a bunch of them, but a lot of them don't bounce your way sometimes, especially at the end. So. Cause see
Houston, he's 10-4 with just over a 4 ERA, so he's up 1 point, but he got that 10-4 record. They like him better, clearly.
Yeah, you heard the rule in minor league baseball now, didn't you, Jim? Once you get that 10th win, you get one of them fresh jackets. So that's why Mike's got the hoodie on right now. He's figuring it out. But
look, Houston, man, what about Houston? Big boyed me when I went to Rocket City. He was supposed to meet me outside. He didn't answer his phone. That's all I know.
No,
you wins, I guess.
He was in the limo, bro. He ain't had time.
But somehow Christian Moore came and met me. Make it make sense.
Because every man's a dollar. Every man got a different
dollar. Y'all got the
you had to wait till I left to go to Rocket City.
Freshest alternate logo ever.
Nah, hold on. What did Mike say? Mike, what'd you just say?
I just said you had to wait until I got called up to go to Rocket City. What's that about?
Damn. That's what I'm saying.
Man, college baseball. I didn't go until college baseball season was over.
Get him the fuck out of here, chat. Get him out of here. Cook him in the chat. But Houston, how about you, man? Have you seen a real adjustment? And also, like, for you, like, I know the expectations are to just be yourself, but that's college versus AAA. Are they trying to add more pitches with you, and how quick do you kind of have that speed of these are pitches I'm going to be throwing every day now?
Yeah, I wouldn't say they're really trying to add anything to me or take anything away. I think it's more of a execute everything. in the right sequence, more so than it is trying to reinvent the wheel. I mean, obviously, me and Michael have certain things that have gotten us to where we are, and I think that trying to get away from that or trying to figure out something new is just going to really put you in a bad spot when you have great weapons. Like for Hicks, it's going to be the sweeper and the fastball. For me, it's going to be the changeup and the fastball. But say we're in there for more than a couple innings, or we're going to flip a lineup more than once. Like we're obviously going to have to play with our sequences and get into our bag a little bit as far as third and fourth pitches are concerned. But yeah, I think it's most importantly just executing pitches in a sequence and trusting that the sequence is going to beat the hitter, and not give the hitters too much credit, because hitting is really, really, really hard.
Yeah. So Mike, I got a question for you, or Michael. Being undrafted and you see these guys coming up through, whether you're playing with them or against them, do you still kind of have like a chip on your shoulder where you feel like you need to prove something versus guys who, first round picks?
Absolutely. I mean, I use that to motivate myself every day in the weight room in the off season. I mean, I use it, day in and day out, but obviously I'm going to have some fun doing it. I like to smile. I like to have fun with my guys. But yeah, no, I'm out there to kick some ass and make everyone feel stupid for not taking a chance on me. And I'm glad the Angels ended up signing me.
Hey, that's Amon-Ra St. Brown right there, the Major League Baseball version. You know how Amon-Ra had like 14 names written down? Dude, Mike's got everybody from that entire draft. He's got a fucking scroll. He's like, fuck all of you. Like, it's crazy.
So, going back to the Rocket City thing, like I got to go to a few different venues, but I've seen video on top of that. Like, y'all managed to go to somewhere that just is different, man. Like, we talk to a lot of these guys on the show and they talk about playing in front of 100 people. I tell Mike, I'll go to the AAA Redbirds game, man, and there might not even be 10 people. I go there to Rocket City for a weekend, and man, literally the one night, 8,800 people. So like, Michael, does that make the experience all that much better, getting drafted in the Angels organization, knowing that you're at probably the top destination in minor league baseball?
Yeah, I mean, the fans there, they're unbelievable. And, the ballpark is beautiful. It's brand new. I loved coming to work whenever I played in Rocket City. I love it in Salt Lake. They're getting a new stadium this year as well. So, it just makes it that much more enjoyable and that much more fun.
Mike, trivia question for you. Why is it called Rocket City?
Come on, Mike.
He ain't talking to me.
Yeah, I am. He knows.
Oh shit! I don't fucking know.
I know.
There's
Bro, that's
two
where the
mics
space
right here.
That's where the Space Center is, man.
Well, that's what I was gonna say, but you didn't let me say it.
No, but I'm gonna do that to move to the next one. Houston, because you got to bounce back and forth between the two. Playing for the Bees, what is the attendance, the ballpark like there? Like, is it one of those things where you actually take a step back going to AAA as far as like facilities?
No, I think the facilities are, right on par. They might not be as new just because, obviously Rocket City's field was brand new in 2019 or 2020, something like that. But just as much room, just the facilities are just as nice, just a little bit older. As far as the attendance goes, that's really tough when, you're as growing and as booming as Huntsville is. I feel like I see a new building pop up every time I go over there. That's tough to do, and there's not really a lot of pro teams in the South near Huntsville. So I think there's a lot of factors that go into why, also the marketing job of the Trash Pandas is incredible. I think there's a lot of factors that go into why they see on average better attendance, but any given weekend in Salt Lake, a bunch of people will be there.
Is it a tough transition going from we're talking about the marketing, the swag of the Trash Pandas to the Bees? Because it is, every guest we've had on here says the Trash Panda is the most elite mascot.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that's a tough mascot to beat, but I'm pretty sure the Bees are actually rebranding a little bit, and you'll see some new jerseys and some new game gear worn on the field this year. So stay tuned for that.
It's not the Binghamton
see,
bathtub donkeys, however.
Yeah, I was literally just about to say you should have seen the bullshit Jim sent me
I'm
one
getting
night at
that
2
hat.
a.m.
You better believe it. Let's go. I like the yard goats. I like the rumble ponies. I like them all. And that Lunatics hat. And then look, let's call it what it is. Christian will admit it. I think getting a Lunatics hat signed by Christian Moore is only fitting because if there's anybody who can lose his mind on somebody, that's the guy. So my favorite umpire. Look, we only interviewed one umpire ever on and off the bench, and it's Javero January. You're probably familiar with him, Houston. And he said he threw Christian Moore out of the game for threatening to beat up somebody on Vanderbilt. And he was like, "You can't throw me out." And he's like, "Man, Christian, I'll let you get away with a lot, but you just told dude you was going to fucking kill him. I can't just let that ride."
Yeah, no, 100%.
But Mike, go ahead and ask your favorite question. I know you're chomping at the bit for your favorite question.
Man, come on. I mean, you guys have been doing it, man. And we're so proud of you and just watching you guys be able to do it from start to finish, man. And, hopefully a lot longer, like a Shohei kind of career. I'm looking for that $700 million deal so I can see how many jackets Houston can buy. But in all seriousness, man, we asked you guys this before and it's kind of cool to kind of rehash it and talk about it again. Let's start with you, Houston, man. Who's somebody you've just been a sponge to, just trying to learn as much as possible, pick the brain of, and then obviously we got spring training coming up. So who are you excited to potentially learn from?
Oh man, wow, that's a great question. I'd say last year, probably Adam Kalarick, big leaguer for a while, just one of those guys that did everything the right way and, never really, had his hand out expecting for any type of appreciation, just got in there, got after his business, kept his nose down and always kept working. I actually had my pitching coach in AAA, Shane Liu. He would tell me, right when I got there, obviously, I don't know everything in the world, but I'm trying to, like you said, be a sponge and just soak up everything from everybody. And on the pitching side, I definitely say it was AK because, like I said, he just does everything the right way. On the other side of the ball, I watched Hunter Dozier a lot, just how he operates and how he went about his business. That was really, really cool to see. And then if I were to say this year, ooh, man, I'll tell you what.
Darrell-Hicks.
I'm sorry about that, but Kikuchi has been in the locker room the past few days, and he is a very, very. I haven't got to meet him yet, but I have got to see him throw a little bit here and there, and that's lefty to lefty. That's always really, really cool to see, from a distance. But I definitely would like to be able to pick his brain a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Michael, how about you, man?
Last year, starting in Rocket City, just the whole group as a whole staff right there. A lot of great guys, and I was coming in with not really having like huge expectations, I guess, for I did for myself, obviously, but I wasn't like one of the main featured guys in that bullpen. Ben Joyce was in that bullpen, so really loved being around that guy. Great dude. Great pitcher, obviously. And then Caden Dana, our number one prospect. Being around those two guys right there, just watching them, they're both freaks. Just watching them do what they do and how they go about their business was really cool. I try to take some things away from them that I liked. And then looking forward to getting to be around this spring training and just in general in the season. Any of those guys that have big league time that are willing to help a younger guy, not younger, but a guy with less experience like me, just absorb anything I can get from any of those guys.
Yeah, that's what Aiden made.
Who I'm
just learning from those guys who've been there before.
Yeah, for sure. Who I'm most excited for you guys to be around? I'm itching at the bit just to see you guys, man. I can't wait to see you punch out Tim Anderson in spring training, bro. As a Cubs fan, I can't wait to see that motherfucker's helmet spin. Like it's gonna be the highlight of my day to be like, that's my dogs right there.
Yeah, no, I love TJ though, dude. I'm glad we got him. I think that's a great sign for us, and I think he's a dog.
No, yeah. That's so that was the if Jim didn't have anything else, that was one of the last things I wanted to ask you guys.
I got a prediction. Look, I made this prediction for Dolander. I'm gonna do it for Michael too. I think Michael's gonna start on the big league team. I'm calling it. I just have a feeling.
Hope you're right. That would be something.
But Houston, I'll make y'all a deal. Mike, we made a deal with multiple guests so far. We got multiple places to travel, right? I mean, we got to go to Colorado, Wisconsin. If both of them make it on the MLB roster, we going?
Yeah, you'll have to.
I mean, again, like I said, especially if
Notice he had a long
opening
hesitation. He's thinking of an excuse.
No, it ain't no excuse. Like, I'm just in my head. I'm like, man, if they in Anaheim and it's April and I'm in Chicago, where do you think I'm going? Like, think I want to be fucking here? It's 20 degrees.
If you remember, I was in Anaheim and I didn't even get to go. Ben had tickets waiting for me, and my wife had me locked down at the beach. I hope she can hear me right now. I'm still mad about divorce papers over there.
I was sick for you, bro. I thought Ben.
Luckily, boys, it was the game before he threw the 106-mile-an-hour pitch. Had it been that game, the papers would have been filed. But like, you know what you made me miss?
Papers.
The papers would have been filed. That's sick. You're sick. At least let me get my picture on and off the bench before you file them papers, man. I gotta
this man is bugging my wife trying to get one of the faces changed from one of our previous.
I don't want it changed. I just want to be on it, bro. Like, look, Houston, hear me out, right? There's DB, there's Randy, and there's Jim. Love them. Love all three. I don't want anybody replaced. I'm just saying, motherfucker, it's Mount Rushmore, and one of the motherfucking faces who's been here for fucking 4 years ain't fucking there. And I'm just wondering.
You just hit the over again. You hit the over again on the L.
It was all one segment, to be fair. I didn't say a single fuck this whole episode. It was all of this. Fuck that. Everybody keeps saying I want Randy off. That's not it. I just want to be on the motherfucker. I could be behind him. I could be like Baby Yoda on his back. I don't give a fuck. But look, I got one last thing to ask these boys, and then you could close it out with whatever you want to do. But outside of the pitching aspect, like we mentioned earlier, Tim Anderson's in the building. Like this, just a couple years removed from this being one of those guys. I mean, he was lights out on the field, not just when Jose Ramirez knocked his ass out, but like really just like in general, you know. But then you get Mike Trout back. You get all these dogs in the building. I would even say Anthony Rendon, you know. To have those guys in the building, to be able to see them go about their day-to-days this upcoming spring training, how exciting is that for you? Because Houston, like you said, and Mike, for you, like these are guys we grew up on. Like Mike Trout is the GOAT in many people's eyes. So to be able to be alongside that, while also, you know, still keep it G all the time. You know, Houston still got his letter on. He ain't worried about it. So what's it like for you guys to be able to be alongside those guys?
Go ahead, Ethan.
Oh man, I mean, I think the vet presence is probably the biggest piece there. Just kind of taking all the young guys under the wing and, you know, not just showing them the way, but like leading by example and how they, like we've been talking about, do what they do and how they approach the game. I think that there is an unlimited amount of knowledge that can be passed down into the clubhouse. But I also think that, you know, the young core that we have is ready to, you know, stand up with their chest out and, you know, really make a push at something. You know, I'm not going to claim one thing or the other, but I think you should expect a pretty good year out of these guys.
Yeah, I think
going to the playoffs.
Yeah, I think the Angels are building something good. I'm not saying that we're front runners for the World Series or anything, but this is the most. I feel like this is definitely the most talent they've had in the building, at least since I've been signed with them. I mean, you look around and there's dudes to the right of lefty for sure, and then being around those vets, especially. I mean, those guys, Mike Trout, Tim Anderson. They've been at the top of the game. I mean, they know what it takes. They know the dedication and the sacrifice it takes, and you look at those guys in the locker room, whether you see them passing or they're in the training room or whatever, and I mean, it's kind of like holy crap, like that's Mike Trout or whatever, and it's like it feels that way even when you're wearing the same stuff that they're wearing. I mean, you still want to watch them. Like I look at them the whole time. I'm like, what are they doing? You know, like.
No, I dig it.
Christian Moore gonna make his more. He would have been called up last year. He didn't get hurt. I'm telling you, that was a steal at the 8th pick, all just because he can get a little over emotional. They didn't want to deal with those problems, but my man's got a chip on his shoulder for all the reasons that he told, on the show, growing up in a really bad spot, had to move to a private school where they didn't accept him there. And so he's just a little angry, Mike, but he can hit. He's pro ready. I'm telling you, that dude's going to be up too.
Yeah, I mean, as long as he doesn't kill somebody like that one umpire said, I think he'll be chilling. You know what I mean? Just don't fucking kill somebody, and I think we'll be all right. But Jim, you got any closing statements before we let these boys go? I'm just
curious on a non-pro question. College baseball, obviously, I'm amping up for it. It's going to be as good as ever. Do y'all, especially since y'all season kicks off later, do y'all tune in and still watch even though you're not playing anymore?
Yeah, I mean, all the time. I got to check in on the dogs and see how they're doing. Anytime I get a chance to go to Starkville and talk to Lim and Cheese and Goat and all the guys, I'm going to go down there and holler at them. I think that it's pretty cool too. Like once we get into the season, it's kind of something for us to do in the locker room, in the clubhouse. Check in on, like, Murphy will check in on the Commodores all the time, and we talk about it. And it's fun to keep up with them and to reminisce on the good old days.
Yeah, Mike,
you tell them scouting teams too?
Wait, I'm sorry, I didn't hear any of that.
My bad. I was gonna say, man, you hitting up that scouting department too. You just letting them know, a couple of your boys, hey man, check out this game tomorrow. You know what I'm saying?
Mike, I was gonna tell you, like, if you make a college game, since you ain't met him, I would tell you that as an LSU fan, I'd still tell you Duty Noble, man. It truly is the mecca of college baseball. Bring an empty stomach too.
I believe it, Mike. Mike, how about you, man? You watching any of the fellas still?
Yeah, I mean, I keep in touch with all my boys that I was playing with at JU my last year, and even I guess none of my boys from WKU are still playing, but one of them, he's playing professionally. But yeah, I mean, I check in with all those guys. I'm still close with the coach at JU, and I go back there. I do some live ABs out there, so I get to holler at some of the players and the coaching staff, and I'll check in. If they're on ESPN Plus, I'll get on there and watch a few innings or so whenever I can.
Most definitely. Well, fellas, we appreciate y'all being here.
Mike, I was just curious.
Man, I was about to do my outro, man. Why you fucking with me right now? I'm playing. But no, we appreciate y'all being here. Man, what the fuck? You do the outro.
You messed up with the show.
Hold on. No, you do it. I'm cool. You do the outro.
I'm not doing the outro. I was just saying as many times as you messed up. I'll be hosting my show later. It'll be a lot cleaner. It'll be a lot cleaner.
Do the outro. No, I'm here. But we appreciate y'all, man. I'm sorry, Jim. Yesterday
you're the one that spent 10 minutes on an intro talking about Legos one time. Miss me with that.
And I was talking about chicken today. I really got to get my shit together. But yesterday we had a really clean show. Jim and I had a great time, but I feel like we didn't argue enough. So I kind of wanted to end it on a sour note, even if it was something small. But no, man, we appreciate y'all tuning in. We got another episode tomorrow. Super exciting about that one, but I'll let Jim promote that on IG. So you have to go over there and find out. But man, we appreciate you guys today, man. Michael Darrell-Hicks. We got Hollywood, Houston Harding. How you feeling, baby? But we appreciate you guys, man. Can't wait to see you guys in the bigs. Hopefully hopefully call us back. You know what I mean? Some guys, man, some guys just forget our phone numbers when we start texting back. But man, with that being said, this is In Off the Bench podcast. You can find us on all social media platforms. Until then, peace.